Please.
Wynette Sills, Director of Californians for Life. We can all predict the outcome of this vote. Some would say it would be a waste of my time to speak with you today, yet I believe there's always merit in speaking truth to power. You have the power, and we all know the truth. In the U.S., 60 million lives have been killed by abortion. That 60 million human lives can be represented by the total number of people who currently live in California, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona. Abortion is a brutal, bloody, barbaric, and inhumane, hurting millions of women for a lifetime, leaving many of us to suffer from depression, anxiety, panic attacks, nightmares, drug and alcohol addictions, and thoughts of suicide, especially women my age who are lied to by the abortion industry, telling us it was just a clump of cells. Yet we know the truth. Everyone in this room has heard a baby's heartbeat on an ultrasound, has seen the arms and legs, has seen the face, undeniably human. SR 7 devalues human life and is a civil rights injustice. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Whatever affects one directly affects all of us indirectly. Killing the most vulnerable among us, the weak, the voiceless, the imperfect, and the unwanted, is a lethal human rights violation that affects all of us. Baby girls are being killed just because they are female. 90% of babies identified as having Down syndrome are killed. Poor babies and babies of color are being killed at disproportionate rates. We don't solve poverty by killing poor children. I invite you to spend some time with me at the sidewalk in front of these abortion businesses. Most women I meet feel that they have no choice. Tomorrow, 20 babies will be killed at the for-profit Family Planning Associates here in Sacramento. I'll be there in the rain and in the wind with a sign that says pregnant need help, with a heart willing to do anything to help these women and to save lives. Women coming out afterwards are changed forever, often in so much pain they can barely get to their car, sometimes bleeding through their pants as they pass blood clots larger than the size of lemons, or fall to their knees.
Thank you.
Puking.
Thank you. I've given you a little extra time. Thank you very much. Next witness.
Sure. My name is Greg Burt with the...
Would you move the microphone a little closer?
Sorry about that. Sure. My name is Greg Burt with the California Family Council, and I'm here also to oppose this resolution. And I'm just going to continue reading her speech because it was so well written, and I was sent to this morning. I was so impressed, so I'll keep going here. I have a dream when women can succeed without having to kill their children. I have a dream where we can all work together to make sure that women have the resources and support they need when facing challenges of an unexpected pregnancy so that abortion becomes unthinkable. I invite you to share that dream and to join the increasing number of Californians who reject abortion. The abortion rate in California is at a historic low, with a 48% decline in California abortion rate since 1991. Come be on a positive, loving, life-affirming, pro-life, pro-woman, pro-science side of history. Yes, I know your voting record. Yes, I know your Democratic Party allegiance to the abortion industry. Yet, in love and charity, I hope that someday each of you will have a change of heart, just like Jane Roe of Roe versus Wade. Her real name is Norma McCorvey, who actually never had an abortion and later had a complete change of heart, becoming a pro-life leader later in life, alongside former abortionist and NARAL founder Dr. Bernard Nathanson, who had done over 60,000 abortions in his lifetime, but later became a pro-life and producer of the Silent Scream. There is hope and forgiveness for every one of us who seeks God's mercy. In closing, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter." Today, despite the powers against me, I will not be silent about the matter of abortion, which Dr. Bernard Nathanson called the most atrocious Holocaust in the history of the United States.
Thank you very much. Any other witnesses in opposition, please come forward with your name and affiliation. Seeing and hearing none, we will bring this back to the committee for comment. I will start, and I will tell you I'm honored and proud to be able to support this resolution. The right of women to control our reproduction is about the most fundamental right I can think of that women have. And fortunately, in 1973, I was an adult at that point in time. I had seen friends of mine go down to Mexico because they could not have legal abortions in this country. Coming back, some of them severely damaged by these procedures. And yet desperate to be able to live their lives as they chose. So I appreciate that there is a strong element that doesn't believe that women should be able to make that choice. Here in California, it is among our most fundamental rights. It's become a Senate tradition to mark this annual event. As well we should, as it is rooted in our nation's Constitution that a woman has a right to control her own body and make her own choices, and in consultation with her family or her doctor or with whomever she chooses. You referenced the Democratic Party. I grew up in a Republican household back in the area of Massachusetts. Nelson Rockefeller was one of my heroes growing up. And I remember my parents saying, what possible right is it of the government to tell a woman what she should do with her body? And I think that's a fundamental principle that has hopefully should survive the Republican Party notion that government should not be interfering in people's lives any more than necessary. And certainly to interfere in that most basic fundamental right of when, with whom, and whether to have a family is among the most fundamental rights that we have. So this is a question of equality for many of us. I take umbrage in some of the characterizations, but this is a battle we've been having for decades, and I'm not going to get down in the mud on it again. To use Martin Luther King as your reference, I think besmirches his good reputation and the things that he stood for, which were equality and justice for all. But it is deeply ironic that those who condemn Democrats for supporting this, claiming that this is a value out of the Republican Party. I would submit to you that it is totally contrary to the fundamental principles, at least of the Republican Party I grew up in. But this isn't a party issue. This is a human rights issue. This is a women's rights issue. And with that, I will entertain any other comments or questions and then ask for a motion, and then we will have you close. Any other questions, comments? Senator Caballero.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Appreciate the opportunity to make a few comments. I'm obviously going to support this. I'm a co-author, and I'm proud to be a co-author. I thank you for being here today. This is what the committee hearings are all about, the ability to disagree on issues, and I want to appreciate the comments that you made. My mother was a nurse, and she worked in the emergency room, and I was born into a family of Democrats that go blue a long way. But my mother was very clear about what she had seen and the kind of carnage she had seen of women that felt like they had no choice. And she instilled those values in me. And I feel like there's nothing more important is the ability to decide how big your family should be and who you want to have children with. And protecting that right is really important to me. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Is there a motion? Did you want to say? I'm sorry, Senator. Moved by Senator Umberg. Senator Leyva, would you like to close?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your comments. There are many things I could say in response, but I think the only thing that I want to clarify is that most of us know there is no abortion industry. It is part of reproductive care, and you cannot dial 1-800 and find some place to go and have an abortion. So I just always like to make sure that we clarify that. And I would also just like to say that this is about a woman's fundamental right to choose. I've never known any woman who's had an abortion who skipped into the clinic and was excited. It was a hard decision, but is a decision she had to make and was usually confronted with people outside who made her feel even worse. So, Madam Chair, I thank you again for your comments. Chair members, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you very much. All debate having concluded, the motion is do pass. I'm sorry, the motion is that the resolution be adopted. And with that, please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Borges? Allen? Allen, aye. Caballero? Caballero, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Stern? Umberg? Umberg, aye. Wykowski? Wykowski, aye.
All right, that vote is 6-0, and we will hold the roll open for just a couple minutes in case Senator Stern is able to arrive.